You know that feeling, right? When you're just completely and utterly drained. We've all been there. But what does being tired actually mean? Turns out it's a lot more complicated than just needing a good night's sleep. So let's break down the science behind that exhausted feeling. I mean, how relatable is this quote from Dr. Sonia Schutz? Waking up and feeling like a truck ran you over, even after what you thought was a full night's sleep. It's incredibly frustrating, and honestly, it's a huge sign that there's something more going on than just needing a few extra hours in bed. So, this is the big question we're really going to tackle. You do everything right. You get your 8 hours, you try to have a consistent bedtime, but you still wake up feeling like you haven't slept at all. What is going on? Well, the answer actually lies deep in the science of sleep. That just can't get rested feeling has real biological roots. And it all starts with understanding a really key distinction that, honestly, most of us get wrong. Okay, so here is the absolute key to this whole thing. Feeling sleepy and feeling fatigued are not the same. We use them like they are, but in medicine, they are two completely distinct states with different causes and different solutions. Getting this difference is the first crucial step to actually feeling better. All right, let's really dig into this. And trust me, this isn't just about playing with words. Getting this right has huge, real-world implications for how you feel, and more importantly, for the kind of help you might need. Okay, first up, sleepiness. This is that physical urge to fall asleep. You know, your eyelids feel heavy, you're nodding your head in a meeting. That's sleepiness. And the low battery analogy here is perfect. The solution is pretty straightforward. You need to sleep. You need that recharge. Now, fatigue, that is a whole different beast. This is that deep, bone-weary exhaustion. You don't necessarily feel like you're about to nod off. You just feel completely drained of all physical and mental energy. The engine problem analogy here is spot on. A nap just isn't going to cut it because there's some underlying issue that needs to be fixed. Okay, to really see how different these are, let's look at a couple of real-world examples. Idiopathic hypersomnia, which is basically a disorder of extreme sleepiness, versus chronic fatigue syndrome, a condition that's literally defined by profound fatigue. So check this out. This table just lays it all out perfectly. With idiopathic hypersomnia, the core issue is an overwhelming, irresistible need to sleep. But with chronic fatigue syndrome, it's all about this severe, overwhelming fatigue. Any kind of physical or mental activity makes the symptoms way worse. It really shows we're talking about two completely different things. One is a sleep-wake disorder, and the other is a complex disease that affects multiple systems in the body. Okay, so we've got sleepiness, we've got fatigue, but what about that third, super frustrating scenario? When you get plenty of sleep, but you still wake up feeling totally exhausted? Well, that's the third piece of our puzzle, and it's all about quality over quantity. Yeah, there's actually a name for this, non-restorative sleep, or NRS. It's that awful feeling of waking up just as tired as you were when your head hit the pillow, even after a full 8 hours. The problem isn't how long you're sleeping. It's that your sleep isn't actually doing its job of refreshing you. So, what is actually happening inside your brain when this goes down? Well, a few things could be going on. You might not be getting enough of that deep, restorative sleep, or you could be having these tiny little micro arousals all night long, brief awakenings you don't even remember in the morning. Sometimes your brainwaves can even get mixed up, with awake-like activity intruding on deep sleep. And of course, things like chronic pain or stress can absolutely wreck your sleep quality. And speaking of things that totally mess with our sleep, let's talk about the elephant in the room for pretty much all of us, our screens. The science on this is crystal clear. Our modern device habits are hijacking our rest. The big villain here is blue light. When you stare at your phone or tablet late at night, that light is basically screaming, "Hey, it's the middle of the day," to your brain. This completely messes with your internal body clock, your circadian rhythm, and throws your entire sleep system out of whack. And the effect this has? It is absolutely staggering. One study found that just 2 hours of using a tablet in the evening led to a 55% drop in melatonin. That's the key hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep. 55%. That is a massive blow to your body's natural sleep signal. And this chart right here shows you what that actually looks like in practice. Compared to just reading a printed book, using a tablet delayed the body's release of melatonin by an hour and a half. That means your body isn't even getting the go-to-sleep signal until 90 minutes later than it should. No wonder you can't fall asleep. Okay, but look, the good news here is you are not powerless in this fight. You can absolutely push back against sleepiness, fatigue, and non-restorative sleep. So let's get into a strategic plan to help you reclaim your rest and finally start waking up feeling refreshed. So here's a super simple 3-step plan to get you started. Step 1, analyze your habits and be really honest with yourself. Are you actually getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep? Also, check your medications. Some of them can leave you with a hangover effect. Step 2, optimize your environment. This is all about sleep hygiene. Turn your bedroom into a cool, dark, quiet cave, and be ruthless about cutting off caffeine, alcohol, and especially those screens before bed. Finally, step 3. If you've done all that and you're still exhausted, it's time to consult a professional. And I really have to stress this next part. Please do not just brush off persistent fatigue. It can be a clear warning sign of a serious underlying medical condition that needs real attention. Things like sleep apnea, an underactive thyroid, iron deficiency, or even long COVID. A doctor can run the right tests to get to the bottom of it and find a real solution. So when you boil it all down, the crucial point is this. Feeling tired is not a simple thing, but by taking a moment to understand if what you're really feeling is sleepiness or fatigue or the effects of unrefreshing sleep, you've already taken the most important first step toward actually solving the problem and feeling better. So I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. What is your fatigue trying to tell you? Is your body asking for more sleep, a change in your habits, or maybe it's telling you it's time to see a doctor? Listen to that signal. It really is the key to a more energized life.